Hey guys, Mumbles here with another New World video, and today we're going to go over the December PTR announcement, the public test realm. And boy, does it look kind of interesting because there's a bunch of stuff that is going to be completely new to us. There's going to be some things that look a little bit new, as well as some new quests and some new enemies. And I'm kind of excited to jump into this because it sounds like it's going to look really cool. If the visuals look like what they say, I think it's going to be a pretty stunning event, and I'm kind of excited to jump into it. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let's jump right in and see what this PTR has to say and see what new things we're going to see when we're jumping into the server today, because it does go live today about 1 a.m. EST. So basically the initial start off is just saying that Eternum is an ever-changing world. And it sounds like they're going to do this for multiple different kind of holidays throughout the season and different seasons when they come. So my guess, we're going to see a lot of changes in between the seasons with how the map looks, as well as any festivals and stuff like that around the events. I would assume, seeing we're getting a winter one, we'll probably see a couple New Year's Eve ones, possibly. Maybe some Easter ones, maybe some world holidays. We don't know the extent of this, but we could assume that they're going to put in as much as they want, because they do talk about diversity and inclusiveness quite a bit in this, in like the social medias and the forums and stuff like that. So my guess is we'll probably start seeing some other holidays that are outside of the North Americas and stuff like that. Maybe we'll see some Chinese New Year's stuff. Maybe we'll see some Oktoberfest stuff. Who knows? We can only expect that they're going to put in as much as possible into this game because it's still in its infancy. We can see, like, if you guys played WoW, there was a festival that came around every single year that was basically just on a back end time clock that when it came to that time, it automatically went up, and that was it. So we could probably assume that we're going to start seeing a lot of these stuff, and it sounds like there's going to be some things that we can only get from this event. So let's jump right in, guys. Let's see what we got here. So basically, they just talk about the PTR being a public test realm. It's just basically testing out bugs, trying to get as much banged out as possible. If you see any bugs or exploits or anything broken, please report it. That way it helps the devs get this stuff out to us correctly, rather than having a bunch of issues. So new limited time content. Now we're going to break down the picture first. It does look like this is some sort of area. It looks like we're going to be able to go fight this Yeti. Because these presents are going to be kind of important here down a little bit further here, which we'll go over. This also looks like a chest back here. So I think this might be like a world kind of like named boss. So kind of interesting to see if we're going to be able to go fight Yetis, because that's pretty darn cool, honestly. So the Winter Convergence Festival, a holiday of the Winter Convergence, has arrived in Eternum, marked by the appearance of snowfall and the northern lights in the sky. It looks like we're gonna have a little bit of snow. Whether this is gonna blanket everything, whether it's just gonna be kind of like a particle effect falling from the sky. We will also have the Aurora Borealis in the sky at night, I'm assuming. So we'll start to see some really, really cool lighting at night. While in the settlements, gifts are exchanged to mark the passing of the year. Outside the safety of the walls, there rages a wintry war between the positive forces and negative forces of winter, the slumber and perseverance, championed by the winter's positive side and negative forces of winter, the death and stagnation, are championed by the winter wanderer negative sides. The player takes on the cause of the winter wanderer to collect winter tokens, which this is probably going to be some sort of another crafting item or another currency, and repeatable events across the island, able to turn them into a holiday shop containing rare and cosmetic items. The Winter Wanderer's positive aspect grows in the power with each token collected and turned in. Icy winds in the Winter Wanderer brings with them new armors, weapons, furnishings, skins, and consumables, and a delightful present gifting emote. Now, whether these weapons are just weapon skins, I'm assuming, because we have no preview here of any sort of new weapon like a blunderbuss or something like that, which we will talk about in our most recent data mine update. So stay tuned for that video that should come up about tomorrow. So Winter Villages, the Winter Wanderer has set up 4 villages to facilitate the joy and cheer of winter convergence. Visit these villages in Everfall, Monarch's Bluff, Weaver's Fen, and Brightwood. We'll probably be visiting the Brightwood quite a bit because it seems to be the one that we're going to be grinding out the most. Now, Winter Convergence activities. We do have 3 brand new activities here. The first one is the Convergence Spirit, special town project quest to do. to decorate towns. My assumption would be if people get these up, you start getting like more presents, maybe a tree, maybe some lights, all that kind of stuff just hanging around the town. The lost present recovery, like I said up in the above picture with the Yeti, there are presents there, and you have to go around and find the presents around the world and bring them back to town. So my guess is these Yetis have kind of done the Grinch and just went into the town and stole a bunch of these presents. Gleamite collecting. Gleamite showers are random meteor-like items that fall from the sky at night. I'm assuming you're gonna be able to see these. These are probably gonna fall in batches. It sounds like, because it does say like a shower of them will come down. And there are some areas that are more common than others that will fall in certain areas. So my guess is that there is going to be some areas there's going to be 5 or 6 of these falling, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 10 or 15. We don't know. But we get these items, we bring them back to town, and we get rewards for them at the holiday shops. Ice caves. Now, we have seen these around Eternum itself. However, they were kind of deactivated. You weren't able to mine them at all. So my guess is this was something that was put in initially, and you weren't supposed to be able to go in there. You weren't supposed to be able to go and actually do stuff there until this event, because you weren't able to mine the stuff because the wolves are broken. So they deactivated them. So there will be new quests around this and new content. These icy caves will be appearing all over Eternum. So it sounds like there'll be new POIs as well. So with the new quests, there will be new side story quests that pop up. I'm assuming these will be in the kind of like festival towns, is my guess. So keep your eye out for these towns. Go there, visit them, see what other side quests they have, and see what we can do with the presents and new items and visuals and all that kind of stuff. They did to add the new journal categories for skill progression quests and epics, armors, and weapons. So now you can, those are a little bit more separated from just the normal side quests. The expertise in gypsum system. So sounds like it's going to replace the high watermark system. So basically with this, there's going to be a new material that you can get from Outpost Rush, world name bosses, expedition bosses, arenas, corrupted breaches, that you're going to be able to get from the end game chests. And then you can use these to make orbs, and then you can make the orbs in the casting of weapons. And this will actually up your expertise or high watermark rather than just sitting there grinding nonstop the same elite bosses and so on. So I mean, it was kind of annoying just to grind the same 2 areas. However, this may allow some people to actually diverse and go do some expeditions, go do some of elite areas, and just basically do different things. In regards to this, the Imperial Palace and Malevolence is up to level 66 to challenge players. So you will be able to go here and have a couple new different areas to go ahead and farm for these materials. Because if you want to get these materials to up your watermark, you're going to have to go out there and get these certain materials rather than just sitting there and grinding and hope for drops. So this will probably be the only section I read word for word, just because it is quite a bit different. So trade skill aptitude. Upon reaching level 200 in any trade skill, the leveling circle will update to show 3 markers equidistant from each other on the circle. So it sounds like when you get to level 200, there will now be 3 check marks. And it'll probably be like 3 kind of like levels after that. And it's actually kind of cool what they do. So earning trade skill XP will begin progressing you again. And when you reach one of those markers, you will be awarded with a container of useful items that are mostly trade skill relevant, such as craft mods, special ingredients, and even schematics recipes. So as you get these check marks, you're going to get a lot more higher tier stuff. So which is kind of cool, because then you're going to be able to not have to grind killing some stuff 100 times for 1 item. Each subsequent marker awards a more spectacular container with more rewards than the one before. Getting enough XP to go all the way through the circle will increment the aptitude counter by 1. This counter will keep counting, so you can keep track of how many times you wrapped your progression around the top level. So I'm curious if this is going to be a thing that is just going to continue on and on and on. Or if this is going to be a thing that kind of just helps people out until the new materials come out, and some things will be allowed to go up beyond 200. Because as new materials come out in the later areas, we can only assume that either some items will drop in level that you require to get like the Void Lodestone or something like that, or the level is just going to be increased, and then at that point, once the level gets increased, this system kind of goes away until you max out the level again. We'll have to see how that goes on with that. We have also introduced a new type of reward to the system: equipment patterns. Equipment patterns are crafting artifacts that enable you to craft a guaranteed gear score of 600 item that has a specific appearance. Patterns require a significant amount of powerful crafting resources to create, but guarantee a level 600 gear score item score. So this is huge. Like, yes, it's going to be a grind, but a guaranteed 600 gear score item is crazy. There's very few items in the world right now that you can craft. I believe it's one per a weapon and one per an armor slot, and armor like level like light, medium, and heavy. That is a guaranteed gear score of 600, and it's really hard to find the recipes for those. Patterns still roll perks, and players have the normal amount of control over their outcome with crafting mods and Azoth. Equipment patterns have a small chance to drop from Arcana, weaponsmithing, armoring, and engineering aptitude rewards caches. So again, when you level up your check marks beyond the normal levels, you're going to be able to get these recipes and be able to get the 600 gear score items. Now, PvP changes, there wasn't a lot. Mainly they're going to be changing the way that armor mitigation works. So basically it's going to go off your opponent's gear score. So your armor mitigation is going to go off your opponent's gear score to kind of even out, so that a level 600 gear score player isn't steamrolling everybody. Arguably they should to an extent, but at the same time, your perks and your ability score stuff is going to outweigh that anyways. It's just going to make it a little bit of an even fight, so people aren't running around like level 20 areas just steamrolling PvP players, because this was a thing that was going on. So now this will probably even that out a little bit. Crit damage application, essentially instead of it just being a multiplier, it's an additive. So it's going to add to itself rather than just multiplying itself. So probably gonna be a small change there. We'll have to see how this changes in the actual like open world PvP, as well as Outpost Rush and arenas and all that kind of stuff, and duels. It'll be kind of interesting to see what happens with this. All in all, it seems like this is going to be a very interesting event. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen with this in the future. If this is just testing out for new events, new kind of yearly, maybe we start getting more events for the holidays every single year. And then at that point, there's so many holidays throughout the year that the map's ever changing. Not just with corruption, but events and holiday stuff. And just seeing kind of like changes in the seasons would be very interesting. So some areas, when it gets summer, maybe go a little bit more green. Maybe in the fall, get a little bit more brown. And you have like a snowfall in the winter would be super, super cool. Now, it does bring a bunch of other quests, cosmetics, weapons, all that kind of stuff, which I'm kind of excited for. Hopefully we get like some sort of Santa suit for like light armor. That'd be kind of cool. Personally, I would love that. But we'll have to see. Again, we'll be jumping into PTR today. So if you're seeing this video, we should be on the second the servers go on. When the servers go up, we'll go ahead and hop in and see what we see. I'm kind of excited to jump into this and see what they have to offer. But I really think it's going to be a testing kind of event for the future, and we're going to see a lot more of these. But guys, if you guys like this video, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thank you guys for joining. Have a great day. Goodbye. Deuces, y'all.